This NFL Divisional Round Playoff Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get free $20 with the promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
What's up, guys? This is Carson Steele. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
To the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean Stacking the Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. It's a real situation brewing.
What's that?
Well, these games are tricky.
Ryan.
These games are very tricky.
Ryan was like visibly rattled in the office. He's like, "Oh, you got any ideas on these games?"
I am rattled.
You let the results get in your head, right? Come on.
No. These are tricky games.
We are breaking down the divisional round playoffs. I see Cody in the chat fired up about his Pats. Welcome everyone. I see Jay Luca you played the Carson Steele drop, Ryan, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if you saw the Eagles signed Carson Steele to a futures contract. What is a futures contract? I honestly don't know.
I didn't randomly play his drop. Yeah, no, it's essentially once your season's over, you can secure a bunch. It's essentially practice squad rights.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Basically he'll be in camp.
I like that. Bringing a guy like Carson Steele onto the roster. I'm excited. I do briefly have to address some of the just the outright slander that is being thrown by the shit that people are saying about Nick Sirianni is getting a little out of hand, right?
Oh, so we're not.
And I got to step in.
Okay, so we're gonna just take a quick second to talk about one of the not 8 teams playing.
Yeah,
okay.
We got plenty of time to break down all the games, pick every NFL game against the spread.
You have told me that we should focus on the playoff teams.
We should.
Okay.
And they just got eliminated last week. That's why it's relevant. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because I'm trying to hear insights from these experts and analysts, and all they're doing is going out of their way to just shit and defame Nick Sirianni. Is Nick Sirianni a perfect head coach? No. Does Nick Sirianni call his own plays? No. Have the Eagles been wildly successful with Nick Sirianni as their head coach? Yes. I keep.
Shouldn't there be an asterisk there? While coaching an insanely good roster put together by Howie Roseman. Isn't that asterisk?
Yes,
okay.
that is that. No, it's not. It's not a fucking asterisk.
Well, for coaching, you have a good roster, so it's easier to coach.
Yeah, well, did they say that about George Seifert? Like, oh, he's got an incredible roster. Did they shit on Joe Montana for having Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, Jonathan Taylor? No, of course not. Look at those.
Jerry Rice could throw over the middle, though.
What the fuck are you talking about? No,
or, Joe Montana could throw over the middle.
Here's the thing. Let's take a look. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Vic Fangio, Saquon Barkley, a number of players on the defensive side of the football as well, and the Philadelphia Eagles organization as a whole. They have seen their greatest success in football with Nick Sirianni as their head coach. And I refuse to believe that it's just this random ass coincidence where he's a complete buffoon who accidentally has the second most wins in NFL history in a 5-year span. Has it been perfect? No. Was I frustrated with the play calling on Sunday? Yes. Should he maybe have fired the OC earlier? Maybe. It's always easy to say fire the guy, but then who are you replacing him with? Should they have gone outside to hire the OC? Yes. Do I understand why they kept it internal? Yes. Was it a mistake? Yes. All those things can be true, and he can still be a pretty damn good head coach. So guys like Evan Silva saying he's a bottom 5 head coach, get out of your fantasy bubble and touch some grass, buddy. He inspires men. And let's look at Mike McDaniel. Oh, the only reason Sirianni can have success is because he has elite coordinators. What have these elite fucking coordinators done when they haven't been paired up with Nick Sirianni? Shane Steichen, how many playoff games has he won? Kellen Moore, I'll give it to you. It's early. Jonathan Gannon, does he look like a genius? And then you go Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is a great DC. You know who had Vic Fangio as a DC? Elite offensive mind, Mike McDaniel. Oh, but why did it not work out? He had talent on that defensive side of the roster for the Miami Dolphins. So there's it, and yes, Howie Roseman's been a good GM. He's been here a long time in Philadelphia. This is his best 5-year run by a wide fucking margin. They've made the playoffs every year. They've won back-to-back NFC East titles. In 5 years, they made 2 Super Bowl runs and they won one and they played their ass off in that loss. Am I happy with how the season ended? No. Is there need to improvement? Should guys be held accountable? 100%. AJ Brown dropped some balls. Jalen Hurts didn't play his best football. Does that mean you trade him or get rid of him? No, it's hard to win in the NFL. It sounds insane, I know, and I'm not making an excuse. These guys deserve to be held accountable, and I'm looking forward to next season, some fresh blood with the OC and making another run here. But to say he doesn't do anything is insane. It's insane. Oh, he doesn't call plays. He doesn't do anything. Why has no one said that about Harbaugh or Tomlin? I get it. He's annoying. And if you don't like him, that's fine. But don't say stuff like, oh, well, Kevin Stefanski could come in here and they would win 3 Super Bowls. What the fuck are you talking about? Who has Kevin Stefanski elevated? Who? Look at that Cleveland Browns roster. Who of these motherfuckers are better because of Kevin Stefanski, Ryan? Who started out better? Jalen Hurts. I didn't think Jalen Hurts could be a quarterback in the league. And as luck would have it, he's had Nick Sirianni as head coach, and he turned into a Super Bowl MVP. He made a run at regular season MVP. Is he a complete fixed project? No. Does he still need to work on shit? Of course. But why would the head coach get none of that credit for developing Jalen Hurts, for turning him into a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a guy that the Eagles themselves, Howie Roseman, the fucking genius, drafted him as a backup quarterback? There's one man who helped him get to a Super Bowl MVP from the coaching spot, and it's Nick Sirianni. He deserves some credit. Do they have a good roster? Sure. But was that roster elite this year? Saquon wasn't amazing. So Lane Johnson missed half the season. Cam Jurgens was out there playing with a broken back. AJ Brown came up small in big spots. And some of that is coaching. Some of that is getting them to focus, etc. And it wasn't his best year as a coach, but it doesn't mean he deserves to be fired. And he's a bottom 5 coach, Hayden Winks, that anyone can replace him. You guys, you got to get out of your all 22 fantasy. And yes, the play design needs work, but it takes, if you never put the pads on, I don't know. I don't think you understand what it's like to be motivated by a head coach to run the culture, to keep I know a lot of franchise. Take a look at whatever your team is. Would you have liked to have made the playoffs these last 5 years? Of course you would. Come on, that's clown shit, and you're better than that. All right, there's my piece.
Yeah, seems like you're getting salty about it.
Oh, it's annoying. Yeah.
You see, you can at least understand the directional point of the argument that I think a lot of people feel like so you think that there's a 0.0% chance that anyone in the building feels like Sirianni underperformed the roster he was given. That's the crux of the argument.
This year?
I think in general, most people's beef with Sirianni is that.
So he should have won 2 Super Bowls last year. I don't. No.
I'm saying like the failure of this year is being used to point out that, look, when things weren't perfect like last year, he made a mess of the situation.
I mean, I don't even know what's the argument there, that he underperformed this year's roster, but so he gets no credit for last year, all the blame this year. That to me seems insane.
Yeah, I think a little bit is like how he acts, and a little bit of
he's fiery.
Well, yeah, but
he brings some of it on himself. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, so when it doesn't work, the arrogance looks silly, And I think it makes it easy for people want to choose, and the recency bias of wanting to fire every coach. Now, do I think he should be fired? That feels like a crazy take. Do I think he should be? He's obviously responsible for the lack of offense this year. Yeah, and it was really bad.
He deserves some blame. And
he didn't make any changes. And like I think
that we're aware of.
What do you mean?
Oh, I think there was stuff going on behind the scenes. His involvement. Maybe he was calling plays, and I do think they changed things up. They didn't change it up enough.
And you mentioned accountability. Which, by the way, I was sitting in the back of the van, aka the rant, and I woke up when I realized you said you were criticizing these other people for not having put on the pads. That was a nice touch. But I think, I mean, certainly Nick Sirianni. Well, that's just funny. You're telling people their take on Sirianni is bad because they haven't put on the pads. That was okay.
No, I think the
I didn't expect that to come out.
The people that are the loudest voices of Sirianni are people who think play design is the most important thing in a head coach. And those are generally fantasy football people who are nerds and didn't play football.
Yeah, and I agree. It's not the most important thing in a head coach, but understanding when you're doing it wrong. Now, like you said, this could be a behind the scenes thing because the changes that were made were meant to help Jalen Hurts, whatever. But I certainly think Sirianni takes the blame. So what do you think going into next year then? Is he on a hot seat? He's obviously in some sort
He's on a hot seat every single year.
So
what do you mean? Of course he's on the hot seat. You're the head coach of the Eagles.
Then what? Yeah.
You're on the hot seat every year.
So then why are you so upset about people's critique of him?
Because I think it's asinine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to say he has no merit as a head coach, that he's a bottom 5 head coach, that anyone could have his success, I think is a truly moronic and aggravating take.
Yeah, we obviously can't sort it out either. So,
what? Sure, we can. Give me another coach who was a complete idiot who had this level of success over a 5-year span.
Yeah, I don't have an example. I would have to. But
so he is an outlier in the entire history of the NFL. Nick Sirianni's the one outlier who's a complete fucking idiot who had this level of success. I mean, I think wins are a coaching stat.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But they failed to get the wins this year.
They still got 11 wins and won the NFC East, which look around the league. It's not a good year. Yeah, I wanted them to go on a bit of on a run and have more playoff wins. They came up short. But to say this year was a complete disaster and a complete waste, and he's a complete idiot, I think if 11-6 is your bad years, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think the real thing that you brought up was the accountability, and I think a lot of people. There's also that question of can he possibly hold AJ Brown and the offense accountable? Because that seemed like, whether behind the scenes or not, that seemed to be a issue this year.
Sure, the team has issues; they're not perfect, but I still think he is.
So you think he's the right guy to hold this team accountable?
Yes, like he did after the 2023 year, where everyone wanted him fired. After they wanted him fired after the first 4 games in 2024. And then he's righted the ship and went on a run. Maybe things will continue to continue to go in the opposite direction, and we'll have to move on. But to say give me another head coach. Give me another example of someone who was a complete idiot, a complete zero, added nothing at the head coaching position that had this level of success in NFL history. Yeah, like there should be at least one person who was close to this, right? Someone who just accidentally won a Super Bowl as a head coach.
I think we can. I think you can probably find a head coach that was benefited by circumstances.
Sure, but who?
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure I could find an example.
Okay,
but
there is not one. I've done some digging. You're saying he can't be criticized for anything this year because of what he's done in the past. 100% disagree. Okay. I started my rant by saying it's fair to be critical of him and of this year.
Okay.
That's different than saying he's a bottom 5 coach who has no business being a head coach in the league. Those are two different things. I don't think he did a good job coaching this year. I think that's fair criticism. That's a difference between thinking he's a dumb piece of shit who doesn't deserve to be a head coach. I think there's a pretty big gap in between those 2 points.
Could we replace Nick Sirianni with a block of wood and the Eagles end up with the same record? We might have to run that experiment.
Let's run it. Now that's what people are saying, which is insane.
I mean, look, it's
you're joking, but that's the general
from
point.
The outside. It does seem like his teams are much better when they have put the defense aside. When they which by the way, they have a very good defense, but when their offensive play caller is creative and unique as defined by the general person who covers the NFL.
Sure.
They've been much better.
Sure. So wouldn't you say that's applicable to all teams? When you have a better offensive coordinator, your team's better.
Yeah. But this is the situation this year also, like if you want to pull back the curtain, we were having this conversation about the offensive coaching hires before the year.
Yeah.
It seemed like it might be a bad decision.
And it was.
Okay.
And he deserves criticism for that. I'm totally on board with that. That's different than saying he does nothing and he's is a bottom 5 head coach. That's where you lose me.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably not a bottom 5 coach based on his accomplishments. I also agree that I don't care if the head coach doesn't call plays, but should be held accountable for the other issues with the team.
Sure. But even all those issues, this is the best run of Eagles football in Eagles history.
Yeah, okay. Again, I don't think he should be fired.
Okay, but don't you think he deserves some credit for that?
Sure.
Okay, but you're by saying he deserves some credit for that, you're in the minority. If you ask the average person,
I disagree. I think you're just hyper focused on a take after this year.
No, it was last year as well. It was in 2023 and in 2022.
He's a fucking asshole. It's easy to shit on a guy because he's an asshole, and he is generally. Like, what does he do that's smart? Like you said, find me the dummy who. What has he done that is intellectually or in a coaching sense smart?
What do you mean? He prepares the team.
What part?
I'm not. He gets them ready.
The quarterback's been better when they've had different quarterback coaches. The offense has been better when they've had different offensive coaches. The defense maybe he helps with that. I'm just saying, like, what counter argument? What is he doing?
He's coaching the team.
Okay.
He's getting them ready to play on Sunday.
And I think that when he's
getting the best effort out of the team.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Kelce, I think, spoke for him a little bit in calling out the players when he evaluated the situation.
Yeah. Players need to play better. And the head coach deserves criticism for that, but he also deserves credit for this incredible run. I think it's insane to give him no credit. All right. We're going to get into the games. Before we do, shout out to Kalshi. That's right. Head over to Kalshi, download the app today. Use the promo code SGPN. Get you a free $20. You can trade in all 50 states. New traders get $20 in their account. Kramer, I know you're actively watching. Who is going to be the Giants' next head coach? Harbaugh's up to 98%. Ryan, congratulations on John Harbaugh being the next Giants head coach. Or if you don't think it's going to be Harbaugh, maybe trade one of these other long shots. Get in over on the action on Kalshi. Use that promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Avo. That's right. You want to guarantee lock in a profit? Download AVO. That's right. Avo. It's an awesome tool. If you're watching live over on YouTube, you can see the dashboard. It's super clean, very easy to use. And they just walk you through arbitrage opportunities. If you're new to arbitrage, it's pretty simple. It's, hey, this bet is listed at one price on this book. It's listed at a different price over here. You can play both sides, lock in a profit, guaranteeing you make some cash. And again, it's super easy. They're great at helping you if you're struggling to figure it out. They even got a Discord. You can check out everyone having success. You can go to AVO Official is the Discord. Check them out. Listen to other people. You don't need to listen to me. Listen to other DGens out there dominating with Avo. Get started today. Go to avo.bet. Use promo code SGPN for $18 off. That's avo.bet. Promo code SGPN for $18 off. Kramer, let's get into the games.
Well, we have to get it. Your rant went so long. You blew some inside info I was going to blow on the.
Oh, what's your inside info?
Well, a guy that I follow via the Giants community posted about an hour ago. Little birdie update. The Harbaugh left the facility, true, but didn't go back to Baltimore. He's currently at dinner with two former two-time Super Bowl winners. You can only assume who that might be. Eli and someone. Now, what just broke minutes ago while you were ranting? John Harbaugh hired as the next coach of the New York Football Giants.
Really? It's official.
It's official.
Wow. Congrats, Ryan.
So guess who got it wrong again? Ian Rappaport flying back to Baltimore to meet with the Tennessee people at his house. Can't trust these guys.
That's why all of a sudden you don't think it matters if you call your plays.
What do you mean?
Well, Harbaugh never called plays.
No. 100%. What you just ranted on,
yes,
was completely in conflict to things that you've been saying about Brian Dable and the defense this year.
What do you mean?
In terms of the coach being held accountable.
Oh, I think
I've never had a take that the entire time we've been talking about football since 2011. I've never had the take that a head coach needs to call plays.
I was joking.
No, I know. Joke. Oh, okay, but you weren't joking.
No, I was. Okay. Harbaugh's a guy like Sirianni who doesn't call plays.
Sure.
Okay. Are you excited for Harbaugh to be your head coach?
Obviously. Now, like I told you, I'm gonna, as soon as the podcast is over, I'm gonna text Justin Decker while the podcast is going to say what's up. It's basically like stepbrothers. Me and Justin Decker gonna talk about Harbaughisms. I told you, wake me up when they make the hire. They've made the hire. Now I'm curious who the coordinators are. It seems like a couple of his assistants on the defensive side, whether it be Weaver, the Miami situation, the Tennessee, he's going to have some assistants floating loose.
Would you want Greg Roman as your OC?
It won't be Greg Roman. It would be Todd Monken. He was also released from Baltimore, and I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with again. Whatever the decisions are, if that means Joe Shane's being walked out of the building,
probably not great news for Joe Shane, but who knows? Maybe he likes Joe Shane.
I said to you, first and foremost, they need to bring an adult in the room who's going to hold people accountable and run the build, be a CEO.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think
it's a 10 out of 10 hire.
I think the Giants' biggest issue, post Eli's last Super Bowl run has been from the organizational point, honestly.
So this, in theory, and Tom Coughlin was the coach there, a little bit more of a CEO, adult in the room. So I think if anything, this creates a little bit of maybe a shielding from the ineptitude of the Maras and ownership and the family. And they get a guy and Joe Shane, honestly, who's a pretty immature GM. So and I'm getting the texts are flying in. So
Dart MVP Mike, who's a former Eagles fan, he's all over Jackson Dart being an MVP. I assume you're going to be on that, Ryan.
If you're Harbaugh, what are you evaluating before you take a job like this?
I think quarterback's certainly a big
Cap
part of
situation, draft equity,
draft, GM,
quarterback.
Yeah.
Dart was in the interview process, so. He obviously sat down. He watched the film of Cam Ward, of Michael Penix, of all these quarterbacks he had a chance to coach, and he decided that he saw Rookie of the Year tape when he watched Jackson Dart, just like I have.
All right, now let's get to the games, Kramer. What do we got?
All right. Now I will say the pickle has only gotten worse trying to figure out who I'm selecting in a couple of these games with these Harbaugh news because things seem so irrelevant now. Saturday. Hold on. There was a bit of a snafu with Colby today. Didn't realize the NFL playoffs were still going on. He forgot he had to make the slides. He also forgot that we made up the nickname Pick Asso for him, which very fitting considering his ass eating escapades recently. Bills, Broncos, Saturday. We're running back the standard Saturday time windows, 1:30 p.m. on the West Coast. 1 versus 6. Bill. It's not like the Bills played on Sunday. and the Broncos got a week off, and now they're playing on Saturday. What NFL? This was an obvious snafu. Denver laying 1.5 here, Sean. After the Bills opened as the favorites of 1.5, minus 125 on the money line. Bills plus 105, 45.5 is the total. To me, this is actually not the difficult game. This game possesses or provides two options. You either take the obvious spot, what the market has agreed with in the Broncos, good home spot, rested, all that jazz, or you get out of the freight train that is Josh Allen this postseason. While I don't think we're going to have a Nance and Romo situation here. I didn't actually,
Jim!
But it
has to be Nance and Romo, doesn't it?
I assume they have the Sunday morning game with the Pats.
Oh, okay.
And so, my God, were they were spitting on, like Nance was stroking it, Romo was spitting on it. I mean, they want Josh Allen to win all the games.
Yeah, that is. I think if you're betting on the Broncos, it certainly is the NFL. We only have one good quarterback, one marquee name. It's Josh Allen, and then Jim Superman's going to put on that cape, and he's going to do it. I mean, that's if you're betting the Bills, it's just because you think Josh Allen.
It's only Josh
in spite of him, coming up, never being able to get over the hump. Again, it's not his fault. It's everyone else. It's the coaches, other players, the refs, whatever it is. Never gotten it done. Never been to the Super Bowl. Now maybe this is his time. Now that some quarterbacks can beat Patrick Mahomes, some can't. He's avoiding playing Mahomes here by going up against the Denver Broncos.
Pussy. He's avoiding a lot of guys this postseason.
Yeah. To me, this is tough because certainly the Bills do have the better quarterback in Josh Allen, and that can be a great equalizer there. But I don't think, I don't think the Jags played their best game. Trevor Lawrence, 2 interceptions there, 1 to end the game. Now, certainly Sean McDermott is good at confusing young quarterbacks. He certainly just destroyed Bo Nix in the last playoff game, but a lot has changed since then. One, obviously this game is at home in Denver, not in Buffalo. 2, you mentioned it, the rest advantage. It's pretty big.
Like, how do they mess this up?
Well, I don't.
Is it purely because they had to create the Monday night wild card game, and by putting Houston and Pittsburgh there, you're guaranteeing that Houston would have to play on Sunday because it would be even more unfair to put them on Saturday after a Monday game? It just seems odd to me. Because in a regular season sense, we would say this is a smash spot. It's not quite Thursday off a bye kind of business, or off a Monday off a bye.
No, but we remember all these crazy situation spots, and you're throwing on top of elevation, and this Buffalo Bills team is incredibly banged up. Gabe Davis done for the season. Tyler Shaver's done for the season, which normally wouldn't matter. But who are the Buffalo Bills throwing to? Even Dalton Kincaid, Ryan, is in a walking boot. So
I have to read this to you. As I shared with you a little bit in the office before the show, but as I've shared with the audience, I've been dabbling with a little bit of AI assistance collecting injury information for me. And it's been a real journey. It started off being not very good, but for the Bills this week, it always gives me a little synopsis of what the injury report looks like. For the Bills, it says war zone, 14 on the report. Reminds me of when they were feeding people to the pit. It made a pit reference.
AI smart.
But anyway, this seems, and this is why I told you this is the game that didn't exactly have me in a pickle, but as we're talking it out, I think all the pieces are slotting into place. I could be seeing the board really well right now.
And maybe Brandon Cooks has a career game. To me, the interesting nugget, and there's a bunch of trends, one of which is, Broncos being underdogs when they were open as underdogs and now they're favorites. That's not good if you're a fan of following the line movement. Teams who have opened as dogs and closed as favorites have not been good in that spot. To me, the thing that
in the spot in general or in the postseason?
In the postseason.
It just happened to the Bills and the Jags. I mean, if you remember, the same movement occurred, right?
The Bills opened as dogs and closed as favorites. It was the other way around. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I'm saying so in this, it's the same way it's happening.
Oh here. Yeah. So Jags Bills, opened as dogs.
Yeah.
and then closed as favorites and didn't get it done. Yeah. So I don't. Again, I try not to, especially with the small slate, lean into too much of who's everyone on, what do they want you to do, the line movement. I mean, the square, the sharps got murdered, myself and you included, Ryan, last week. It was not a good week if you were playing the sharp side.
So we were on the right side.
No, I don't think we were. Dallas got it.
Winning
two
and losing.
Touchdowns was the right side.
Winning and losing isn't the right or wrong side. It's
winning is a coaching stat and is also a stat in picking games.
I will say that the one thing that is a little bit different this week is the money is like the line is moving for the Broncos, but the money, according to all sources, is coming in on the Bills, and so I don't know what that nonsense is.
Yeah,
but it does strike me as a similar situation, and that's the biggest thing. The biggest pause I had was, am I really going to walk into the same stupid situation twice? I'm not nearly as big a Bronco fan as I am a Jags fan, but I mean, Josh Allen played a spectacular game,
and they almost lost.
He didn't even come close to turning the ball over, at least through the passing game, and. Yeah, they and Liam Cohen had the worst offensive game plan, and they almost beat him.
Yeah, and
you know what, Bronc? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, I haven't even given my pick. I got some more thoughts.
You're on the Broncos.
With Sean Payton coaches a playoff game on extended prep rest time, teams are 4-0 straight up. Now, not as good ATS because in some of those spots they were big favorites. Here, 1.5. Again, when I'm actually putting this down, I'm going to be on. At Circa, I'll definitely be playing whatever the money line is Friday night there, because the Broncos edging out the Bills 17-16, 21-20. I could totally see. I just can't go against this Broncos team at home. They lost one game, and it was against the Jags. Jags came in with the perfect game plan, kind of punched them in the mouth. But for the most part, you have a well-rested team at elevation, and look at this Bills travel spot, right? You travel all the way down to Jacksonville, very physical game. Josh took a ton of hits, Ryan. And again, I know I'm driving our Bills site manager Adam in the chat crazy.
No.
Tongue in cheek with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the man, but he took a ton of shots in that game, and now he's got to go back to Buffalo, then back out to Denver and win another road playoff game on short rest.
He's Superman though.
He's been good in these spots in short weeks, etc. And the Bills, to their credit, and something I overlooked when they were playing the Jags, they have been good ATS against teams that are above 500. They've played up to the competition. Honestly, where they've struggled is when they've, like your Atlanta Falcons on the road, like teams that they could. Houston Texans, I guess, is certainly a better team on the road, but and the Broncos are incredibly healthy. They might get. Who do they get? Dre Greenlaw back. This is just really a brutal situation spot here for the Buffalo Bills. And I think the Broncos are going to be able to, this is a nice revenge game for the Broncos. Bo Nix, it's not his first playoff start. He's at home. I think that's a formula for him to have success. I think he's going to stay tuned to the prop show. We mentioned it, I think earlier, Ryan, when we did our divisional round FFPC draft. But I think
revenge for last.
I think it's a revenge, and I think it's a good situation spot for this. The Bills, the linebacker play, Milano continues to be banged up, and the D tackles. They ran Tugboat Tootin. He did like 3 carries in a row for like 40 yards, and then they went away from it. I don't think Sean Payton is going to get away from that. And Ryan, we've talked about this all year. Bo Nix, when Sean Payton gives him the A game plan, he does well, and I think this is an A game plan. Give me the Denver Broncos. Laying the 1.5, although officially I will just be playing the money line because I have respect and admiration for the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Broncos at home, laying the 1.5.
Me too. You mentioned you can see RJ Harvey having some runs. His rushing yards total is at 54.5. That's something very interesting to me as well. And yeah, I mean, we didn't talk a ton about it, but do you remember the Sean Payton opening drive last time?
Troy Franklin deep shot.
Yeah, they went up 7-0 and then got their ass beat. I don't know if this Bills team is on the same level.
Well, and just I mean, like the pass catchers for Josh Allen. I'm busting his chops here, but you have a banged up Dalton Kincaid. Shakir is going to be your one. I mean, if you're the Broncos, don't you just put Surtain on Shakir and like, all right, who are you going to throw to? We're going to load the box, and certainly Josh Allen could do it with his legs, but he's dealing with a knee injury, a finger injury, and an ankle injury. I mean, remember that like he got tackled weird near the goal line, and of course they ran the tush push from the 10-yard line that scored or got to the 1, even though it is a player safety
very
issue.
Unsafe. Yeah, very unsafe.
We just completely forgot about that, guys who voted against the tush push. But yeah, give me the Broncos here.
Now. What will actually no, we're not even going to talk about it. I'm also on the Broncos. Lay the points, and like Sean was saying, I think there's certainly some nice props for the Broncos in this one. All right, moving along. Game number 2, 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We have a NFC West matchup, third time this year. Seahawks, Niners in Seattle. Actually, the game's at 5. Excuse me, -7.5 for Seattle. Another 1-6 matchup. Niners plus 290 on the money line. 45.5 is also the total. This is the game that officially put me in the pickle.
Really?
Well, at first glance, it's like, oh yeah, of course, I'm gonna take the Niners. A little revenge from that game a couple weeks ago. Kyle Shanahan calling a masterful game against the Eagles defense. And then the more that I thought about it, it's like, well, they also kind of dumped the Gatorade. They also lost George Kittle, which my AI assistant thinks is worth 2 to 2.5 points on the spread, which feels a little
crazy.
And if the San Francisco defense, which is even leakier than the last time they faced, I know the Fred Warner might be out there as like a token player. I don't know if you heard Trent Williams talk about it. He's like, he doesn't really need to play. He just needs to be in uniform to help the troops out. So I don't really expect Fred Warner to make an impact on this game, honestly. And with the way that San Francisco has been getting beat, I kind of have slowly been buying myself into the idea that, well, I know what the market's telling me with 7.5. It's saying that this number is going to go up before it comes down. And so far, what have we seen? Well, there's no San Francisco support. Otherwise, this would be 7. So I say all of that to say, what do you like, Sean?
Well, Ryan, let's look at the Seattle Seahawks in games where they covered this number 7.5. And that to me is they won in overtime in an insane game, 38-37 versus the Rams. Didn't cover the 7.5. They did win and cover against Max Brosmer 26-0.
That counts.
Yeah, but not a great game.
That counts.
Not a great game from old Sammy D there. 44-22 against the Cardinals. Now 27-19 against the Texans, but that they tried to give the Texans that game.
Right, yep.
If you remember that, they lost. They lost to the Bucks 35-38. They beat the Saints again. That was when Saints had Rattler. And then they lost to the 49ers week 1 when the 49ers were able to get some pressure and able to turn Sam Darnold over. Now, to me, this, again, obviously I was never going to play the 49ers. I am biased towards my Eagles, but that's when you should be playing the 49ers is when they're a dog. And we see this all the time. The 49ers, if they make the playoffs, they make it to the conference championship game. And I think this could be another one of those, especially with the 7.5 points. You look at Sam Darnold. Ryan, league worst 20 turnovers this season. With 20 turnovers.
I feel like you're framing data right now.
How so?
You're only focusing on the bad.
No, say league worst 20 turnovers. The only player in at least the last 35 years to lead the NFL in turnovers and win the Super Bowl was
Eli Manning.
27 turnovers, 2007 Giants. And as much as I think this Seahawks defense is really good, they're going to come to play. They do have a good home environment. Man, let's just Christian McCaffrey, just keep throwing the ball to Christian McCaffrey. That's one of the weaknesses of Seattle is pass catching running backs.
They dealt with it last time.
Yeah, they're also not great. Again, I think last game was kind of a different situation. Biggest difference is Trent Williams. He's back. He played well against the Eagles, and I think just being able to give Purdy enough of that time, and I don't know, whatever it is, Shanahan. I mean, he outcoached Vic Fangio as much as Vic Fangio I thought had a good season.
That part of it is the part where I'm concerned because it felt very much like they spent a lot of effort and energy building this scheme to defeat that, which in 2 games versus the Mike McDonald scheme, this year at least, they have not looked close to defeating the scheme, I guess. And so, I also think we're ignoring you're completely throwing out the same rest disparity.
No, that's on my list.
Okay.
I do think that's, and
so for a really banged up team coming off a emotional win that they were very clearly very pleased with themselves to have defeated the Eagles in Philly, and they lose one of their spiritual leaders in TEU superstar George Kittle.
Yeah, I just on the other side I look at Sam Darnold laying points. If I go down betting against Sam Darnold as a 7.5 point favorite, then so be it, Ryan. I'll die on my sword. Because I'm not you would have to pay me a lot of money. You know, we talk about the free bets you get over on Novig, promo code SGPN, Kalshi, you get some free trades. I'd need a lot of free trade to get down on the Seahawks team laying the 7.5. And maybe it's the sharp side, but come on, it's Sam Darnold. I watched Sam Darnold last year. Also, just in my own memory, I got to remind myself these wild card weekends. I didn't have a good wild card weekend last year. I didn't have a great one this year. But the 2 spots I crushed was one of which was just fading Sam Darnold in his first playoff game. We get another 14-3 Sam Darnold team going it, but this time he's a bigger favorite.
Only time. I mean, he's unique in that sense.
Also, we watched that Rams game. That guy shit the bed. He tried to give the game away, but the Rams pass defense let him back in.
I got to pull up. Now you've gotten in my head again differently. All right, I did. Yeah, that's not right.
Jake Tonga is, I think, is going to have a big game. Brock Purdy is a dog. That's when you play him. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. Ryan, are you out of that pickle yet? What are you doing?
Give me Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Again, I think the chat. I saw a couple of people in the chat pointed out, but I think you're completely like Trent Williams being out there, big plus. But the emotional drain of the victory, the rest disparity, and the fact I do think losing George Kittle impacts their ability to run what they want to run as much as Trent Williams. And so I do think that's fair. Banged up, short week. And I was using a similar handicap. I think at least for me, and I get the case. You're laying a big number. I'm laying a big number
for Seattle. I think this is the fact that it's a division game. You know how to play him. You know how to turn over Sam Darnold. This game's going to come down to a big Darnold turnover.
Yeah, if Purdy lights up that Seattle defense in the same way that he was able to light up the Eagles defense, I'll just be surprised. Like it's a bunch of I don't want to call them replacement dudes, but it's now with Kittle off the field. It is pretty much a bunch of replacement dudes with Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy.
Also, I'm not going to take a head coach making his playoff debut late in 7.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that mistake again.
All right. Kramer, of course, shout out to Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna bet you picks, props, sides, total. Rhythm has it all, including the parlay optimizer. Love me. I mean, parlays are fun, but let's be honest. You can't just be throwing shit on the wall. This is where Rhythm comes in. They help you And make sure we talk to our graphic guy Jake. We may need to update this. We do have Josh Allen on the rhythm graphic, so I don't know. We might have to update this next week, Ryan.
Should we just get Harbaugh on there? Both Harbaughs. Just play it safe.
The parlay optimizer is a great addition to the rhythm toolkit. Again, if you're not using rhythm, you're missing out. I love, gambling with the eye test, watching all the games, getting my takes. But do I check rhythm? Of course I do. Rhythm has you'd be crazy. I mean, the books are using AI data. Why would you not be using it? You'd be crazy not to take a look and see what rhythm's up to and what they recommend. And in addition, you can build your own models to rhythm. It's not crazy. It's not complicated. You can impress your friends. Hey, look, I built a model. You sound super impressive. Here's some. Oh, okay. Here, let's see what's something. Okay. Here we go. For the Pats game, Rhythm likes Woody Marks under 15.5 rush attempts. That's plus 106. Rhythm has him only getting 10.2 rush attempts. So nice find there by Rhythm again. You can go premium with Rhythm. Use that promo code SGPN 25. Get you 25% off. Download the Rhythm app today. That's RITHMM. Kramer, we're also brought to you by Underdog. Of course, use that promo code SGPN. Win up to 5,000 extra money. Play $5, get $75 in bonus funds. They're great with the boosts, the pick'ems. Of course, we love the good old pick'ems. Kramer, let's put together a little pick'em. We hit our one last week for the wild card round. Let's run it back.
Purdy pick.
Purdy interception. It's a no for me, dog.
I think both quarterbacks might throw a pick in that game.
Okay. Well, you want Sam Darnold then?
No, I'm not playing your fucking game.
No.
RJ Harvey. I'm gonna be probably giving out the rushing yards on the prop show.
Okay. I like Harvey.
We can throw Harvey in there.
RJ Harvey, higher 53.5 rushing yards.
So low.
Very low. Do we like?
Honestly, I know we shouldn't do this, but the 12.5 first quarter rushing yards for Harvey. Don't you see Peyton just running the ball in that?
Yeah, but
opening?
you never know. Like I don't like playing the first quarter because it just adds a randomness.
Chat, mark that one down. Let me know.
No, I'd rather play the full game.
All right, let's do it.
Because
it's low. Yeah, I like them all. I like them all.
Who knows? Like if they don't start with the ball, you're already kind of behind the 8 ball. You get 1 3 and out, and then Bill's going on a long drive early. Can totally see that.
3.66x if we want to go to 99.5.
We'll just do 53.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Kramer, can I talk you into any Jake Tongas?
Sure. Yeah.
What would you rather play, the receptions or the receiving yards? I think he also gets into the end zone.
These numbers are crazy.
Crazy what?
I mean, is he just going to be the check down Charlie?
I think I like the receiving yards, 35.5 for Tongas.
Okay.
Well, what do you?
I can do that.
You can do that.
I can do that.
You can make that happen. Jake Tongas. I mean, if you go back and look at some of these games,
a little pitchy, dog.
If you go back and look at some of these games without Kittle in there, he ate. So I think he's going to have a good game against Seattle there.
I know the dabbling a little DFS this week and last, and I know that the tone. Jake is going to be a popular DFS play. I'm sure
a lot of people are going to be on him. All right. So Jake Tongas higher 35.5 receiving yards and RJ Harvey higher 53.5 rushing yards. $100 entry returns you $300. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN.
All right, I'll drop the link in the chat if people want to tail. All right, let's move over to Sunday. Let's see. Has Decker gotten back to me yet? No, he hasn't gotten back to me yet. I can't wait for him to get back to me. Houston Texans, New England Patriots. All right, alert everyone. Just quick aside.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
This is a great weekend to surprise the wife or girlfriend with a breakfast or brunch. Yes. Reservation. She's not gonna. She's gonna be. Well, I thought there was football. Like, no, we got time for brunch here. You squeeze it in because kickoff's not until noon. Our pregame show starts at 11:30 Pacific time, and the first game, Patriots Texans. Some might say this is the dud of the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. The way that CJ Stroud and that offense played, a little bit concerned we could be having a run back of what we saw with the Chargers. Houston is catching 3. This was 2.5 earlier in the week, and it's moving. The 2-5 matchup here, plus 155 on the money line for the Texans. 40.5 is the total. I came into this certain I was going to like the Texans. Because I hate the Patriots. But this is the same matchup as last week, with the potential that Houston's offense at least tries to not be complete donkeys and fall for every trick.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
There were multiple reports from the beat reporters of both the Patriots and the Chargers after the game that it seemed as though the Chargers were just not prepared for whatever New England was doing.
Harbaugh?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, I heard the same thing. Like Roman seemed lost.
Roman got fired.
And so did Herbert. I mean, all the film people were saying that there were guys open downfield and Herbert was just not throwing it or not finding them.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would encourage if you're a hater of Herbert,
yeah,
watch the all 22 of this
game. Not good.
There now, granted, some of it like his eyes are moved elsewhere, et cetera, et cetera. But he definitely had opportunities that he did not take advantage of, and I don't have any faith in a Nico Collins-less Texans team being able to accomplish the same. And we've had a tremendous amount of conversation this year about how the Texans offense has not worked. Now they've kind of gotten it. They've come back around. The offensive line looks better, but all of the offense worked because of Nico Collins. Like many alpha receivers, they matter. And my God, did CJ Stroud just he looked like complete ass last week against the Steelers defense that is not that good as much as we love to love them. And on the other side, while it's a little, I guess it's scary for the Texan to go against the Texans defense here. It does seem like I have to move to the side and realize this Patriots team, they're the team with the horseshoe up their ass. All this time, I didn't recognize it.
So I think you could say, I mean, hard to not say the team with the horseshoe up their ass is the Bears, considering you get some onside kicks, some missed field goals, that kind of stuff. In the NFC.
Yeah. But the Patriots have had fortuitous bounce after fortuitous bounce. They have seemingly outcoached in situations you wouldn't expect them to outcoach, and the mistakes that their young quarterback make don't seem to ever matter. It's how many times did Drake May turn the ball over? If you asked an average football fan last week, how many turnovers did Drake May have? They might not be able to tell you. Did he play a great game? Well, yeah, the good was really good, but the bad.
I mean, he had a nice throw to Hunter Henry, but to your point, Ryan, he's to me, he's not quite young Josh Allen, but he has moments of young Josh Allen. And I think that's the area where maybe you can credit the team for just being really good or being really well coached. But you know what it reminds me a little bit of? It reminds me of the Kingsbury Jaden Daniels offense from last year. Because the Pats?
At times it looks unstoppable. And you're like, my God, this kid has it. He has all of it. And Jaden Daniels was a lot more cerebral appearance wise than Drake May. And there's just times where, like, unlike Jaden Daniels, Drake May just makes a completely boneheaded play. And those plays have not come back to bite them in the ass at all because everything else is working well. And so, yeah, the offense to me, a little bit worrisome because at some point I know it's going to come crashing down. I just don't know if it's, and they're missing their offensive line isn't 100%.
Yeah. I mean, both the right tackle and then the backup right tackle DNP for the Pats. That's something that jumps out. But as you mentioned,
they've been scheming shit up all season.
Yeah. Nico Collins out. That's huge for the Texans offense. They don't seem to trust these, Noel and Higgins, who have been good. They don't seem to really quite trust them yet. And in the playoffs here on the road, Christian Gonzalez was in the concussion protocol, but he's practicing. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to be playing. Now, if you're worried about like everyone being on one side, I do think the public probably on the Pats, but it's hard to disagree. Like this is a Pat's spot for sure. The Texans played like the perfect game defensively. They got away with the fact that, I mean, both teams, you can make a case, the Texans and the Pats got away with crazy sloppy turnovers by their quarterback. What is more likely to happen again? One, the quarterback who has to fly back to Houston, then go back out on the road, or another, the Drake May, who maybe he was a little nervous for his playoff game. Now he got one game under his belt. I think he could. I think he's gonna not turn it over as much. Now, certainly the Texans defense is tough. I get that, but I mean, dome teams outdoors in cold weather. I know the Texans just won
it's
in
it's
Pittsburgh.
2-15 now.
Yeah, now it's 2-15. It was 1-15. If it's 3-15, then so be it. I'm just skeptical of this Texans team and the stuff that was happening with CJ Stroud, with the snap, with the crowd noise, with the cold hands. That's going to happen again here in New England. That to me is way more likely to happen again than Drake May. Now, some of it was the Texans D line getting to Drake May, which certainly is a bit of a concern here.
Well, that's the concern. He holds on to the ball. Now, I do think that Josh McDaniels has the game plans have been great. You want to, juxtaposition to Nick Sirianni in Philly, but Mike Vrabel is being very much propped up by the fact that Josh McDaniels, and I haven't heard his name as a head coaching candidate.
I know he's one of those guys,
crazy to me, but he is, and
he missed
maybe
his chance.
Well, maybe because you could argue he's been the best assistant this year. That offense has been prepared for almost every game, sans that Raiders game. Maybe McDaniels was given the Davis family a little gift there since they're still paying him. I'm on the Patriots. It feels gross. I'm laying 3 with the Patriots.
Now maybe it comes down to a late Fairbairn field goal, but give me the Pats.
Dear God, don't
laying the 3.
I can't be. Imagine having a root against the Fairbairn.
Well, he didn't. He only got one last game, Ryan, and it was again.
Well, the defense scored 2 touchdowns. I kind
of defensive and I tweeted it out, but it did seem like CJ Stroud had the under on Fairbairn field goals because a lot of the turnovers were just insane. You can't trust, and
he doesn't even have small hands. I'm looking right here, 10-inch hands. Those are good sized hands.
Wow, yeah. Ryan, you're getting pretty excited.
No, I like to keep track of quarterback hand size.
And Ryan, I don't know. Does this factor into your handicap? True or false? The Texans have never won a divisional playoff game in their entire history. They have never made it to a conference championship. Does that factor into your handicap at all? Should it?
Well, they're a younger franchise. In fairness,
relatively, yeah.
Yeah. I do have.
I mean, Jags have gotten to a conference championship.
Well, since you asked me this question, I actually have the last time every team.
Oh, okay.
Has won a divisional round game or AK played in a conference championship. It's gonna be
bad for the Cowboys.
Well, every playoff team that's still remaining. Do you? Okay. So let's see if you can name it. So the last time the Broncos won a divisional round game was.
It was. Let's see. Well, it was the last time they won the Super Bowl.
It was the Peyton year.
Yeah. What was that?
2016. And they ended up playing the Patriots in the conference championship and they won. And they won.
Okay. I thought that was the divisional. That was the one they beat them in. That was 2016 was the last year Peyton won when they won that.
Yep.
They beat the Panthers. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the following year where he got retired by the Seahawks, right?
No, that was the year before.
Oh, that was the year before.
Yeah.
Oh, so was that this year? Or this was because the Panthers, Cam Newton went 15-1 2015. This is the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they won. They
win this Super Bowl.
Yeah. They won that Super Bowl and his arm was completely cooked then. The defense carried him. You'll never hear that. They won't bring that up in his Hall of Fame speech.
Seahawks.
Last
time they won a divisional round game.
Yeah, it would have to be that year they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
So, Bears.
Oh, this is going. It's where they played the Packers in the conference championship that Cutler year, the exercise bike.
Yep.
I know it by visuals, not by actual years. What year was that?
2011 playoff. So 2010 season.
Shit. And then Texans never.
That the craziest thing about that, the Bears, other than the Texans never being the Bears getting a win in 2011 is the longest drought. So, so much for parity, I guess.
So we're both on the Pats. Let's go, baby.
We are both on the Pats. And all right, so again, you had the breakfast with the wife or girlfriend, then you watched the Texans and Pats at noon Pacific. Now 3:30 Pacific.
Gonna really throw my wife off. Don't you have the pregame
you
show?
Pulling that move? You're gonna sneak it
that
in?
might be good.
Yeah. Rams in Chicago to take on the Bears. 3:30 Pacific, like I was saying. America's game of the week here. Gotta be. Bears catching 3.5 at home, plus 170 on the money line. 48.5 is the total. Home teams tend to do well divisional weekend, but that's usually because there's a bit of separation. There's the historical trend data from back when there were 2 buys. There's a number of reasons for that, but weather advantage and in having another dome. So Sunday is all about dome teams going outside to play in 40-degree weather.
Home team. What do we?
Now, I think this is the one road team that will garner support from the market. And I think the Bears will once again be public and have fleas. Well, we overcame the fleas were overcome last week against the Packers. I could be wrong here, but just my gut is this is going to be like a pros versus Joe's game.
Polar vortex. Well, so I think most places, sportsbooks and sharps, have the Rams handicapped as their number 1 team. And I guess I get that to some degree, but man, all over the Panthers last week, cause I don't think that Rams pass defense is that good. Now you got to go back to LA, then go up to Chicago where it's freezing cold. Again, look at what prevented the Rams from blowing out the Panthers. It was miscues on the offensive side of the ball. Drops.
The run game not being all that great.
Yeah, I mean, but Devontae Adams had big drops. Stafford had some bad reads there.
In the red zone.
Miss Puka. Puka never drops anything. Devontae Adams never drops anything. And I just can't imagine you go back, you go home. Stafford, he's a little dome baby. He doesn't want to be outside. Last 10 games for Matt Stafford, outdoors in the rain or snow, 1-9, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Rams last 10 games in Chicago, 2-8, minus 109 point differential. It's supposed to be 20 degrees, 18 mile per hour wind. And Ryan, you want to talk about good head coaches? Ben Johnson, who probably a dick, and comes off super cocky, talks a bunch of shit, but also I think is a good head coach. Bears practice
also designs nice plays.
He does.
Yeah. Calls nice plays too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he wins the Super Bowl, but the Bears practice. He's making the Bears practice in cold with no heaters. That is
he's
old
also got
school.
a little Dan Campbell.
That's old school football guy brain. Now maybe the Bears magical run finally comes up with them. I mean, I regretted not being on the Bears, and more so. I felt fine with the handicap. I felt like a lot of the stuff I said would happen in the Packers Bears game did happen.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself for not hitting the old money line over on Novig. It was 8-1 at halftime. And I had that gut. And they were up 21-3 and I didn't feel good about it, but then I'm like, don't hedge out. But I was like, it's 8-1. I should take a piece. I didn't. Home dogs of 4 points or more. Now we're picking this at 3.5, but just kind of show you what neighborhood you're talking about. Home dogs of 4+ points, 9-0 ATS over the last 50 years in the playoffs.
I meant to dig up how often this happens in the divisional round because we were. Now I
don't know if that's division round only or if that's home dog. Yeah, no.
Think about how rare it must be because before you had the bye too, so. The idea that you would be at home coming off a bye and still be an underdog. There aren't too many of those occurrences. I would be willing to bet.
Now stuff against the Bears. Obviously their defense has had issues, and you like a lot of the Rams angles there on the offensive side. I do think getting GJ back is big for the Bears. And the Bears, you want to talk about the ball not bouncing your way? It's weird. They've had a horseshoe up their ass, but they kind of didn't in that Packers game. They had 3 separate good forced fumbles that they did not recover. Maybe some of those break their way. Stafford also like Josh Allen, incredibly banged up. You get that finger, whatever he did to that finger. Now they're calling it a sprained finger, whatever the hell that means. That's not going to feel good out in the cold. And he's a dome boy. Meanwhile, this Bears team is hungry as all hell. The place was literally shaking. Their home field environment, I underestimated. And yeah, this is just and also too the Rams defense has not been the same. I know getting Quentin Lake back, that almost scared me off taking the Panthers, but I'm like, you know what? This Rams defense has not been right. First 11 games, the scoring defense for the Rams, 16.3 points per game, number 1 in the league. Last 7 games, 28.3 points per game, 27th in the league. So it's clearly, then they've had some injuries, but clearly something is going on with this Rams defense, and this Bears team has incredible confidence. And I think they're going to, at very least, be a field goal game. So I love the Bears here at home as a home dog.
I certainly, I guess the only other thing is, are we at all worried about the Gator, like the emotional dump that occurred with the Bears defeating the Packers in the sense that they beat them? Or is it the idea that they've done that so many times this year that they've,
I mean, how many? And I fell for it a number of times where Ben Johnson's post game, he's ripping his shirt off, and the cheese grater guy. But sometimes sometimes these things, the momentum of this Bears team feels inevitable, and I'm not getting in front of this Bears wagon right now.
It is remarkable that it's like the horseshoe is up the butt. They're lucky, but they are still the 2 seed with a tremendous home edge.
Yeah.
And it does.
And they're playing a dome team, and it's going to be cold as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take the points. This was not necessarily one of the pickle games, other than the overwhelming sense that I get that the power numbers are going to draw. Like if there was a game that I was going to pick that this is going to be the consensus take for all the VSiN hosts or whatever, I think a lot of them are going to be on the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be a quote unquote sharp side this week. But yeah, I'm with you. I think 1, the momentum, the vibes, whatever you want to call it, but 2, we haven't even you said the negative about Stafford, but Caleb Williams turning into one of the finest cold weather quarterbacks we have.
I mean, again, he had some incredible throws, and you saw it in a big spot. Like, okay, that's why the guy was number 1 pick overall. And the crazy part is, and I've said this about some of his games previously, and I stand by it, I still don't think he's maximized his potential, which I think is scary.
Well, I think last year was a waste of a year. This is year 1 of Ben Johnson. And
I don't know if it was a waste of the year. It's like, he was. It was a rookie year.
It's a rookie year, but he more than most prospects needed someone to kind of, because he's got such good that he needed to rein in the bad, and I think that comes with good offensive structure, and that's kind of what Ben Johnson's been up to. And so that quarterback class is comical when it comes to like how quickly if it was a horse race, Jaden Daniels was crushing the field. And
he was in the conference championship.
He broke a leg and
2 road playoff wins,
and now he's an afterthought.
Well, I think. Again, the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think he'll probably have a decent
coordinator left him.
That is weird.
Like I'm going to go find another quarterback to work with.
Well, now it sounds like he's going to be another OC.
Listen, you don't leave you don't leave a generational talent.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes OC wasn't leaving after they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Not to be another OC. That's insane.
You're right, Ryan. That is a weird sign. And it sounds like there's some dysfunction in the building, which I was always told was only a Dan Snyder thing, but it feels like could be. It
sounds like Dan Quinn didn't want to fire his coordinators.
Yeah, but it sounds like
we're going to fire
ownership's meddling, which was always the Dan Snyder thing.
Yeah, we're back.
Give me the Chicago Bears plus 3.5. Kramer also on the Chicago Bears plus 3.5. Time for our lock, dog, and tease.
Happy birthday.
Brought to you by Novig. Download the Novig app today. Use that promo code SGPN. Available in a bunch of states. Spend $5, get $50 when you use our promo code SGPN. Again, some of the best prices in the market. America's #1 sports prediction market. If you're not using Novig, you're leaving money on the table. Novig, promo code SGPN. Kramer, why don't you go first? Are we doing how many? There's 4 games. Are we doing a lock and a dog? What are you doing? Lock, dog, tease, and lock seems kind of insane for 4 games. But what do you want?
I mean, I'm good with anything. So you want to mix it up because you had been going first, I assume. That's
okay. I'll go first. I more so want to know what we're giving out.
Do you want to just do 2 locks?
Sure.
And a dog?
Sure.
All right.
It just feels crazy to tease.
You don't want to tease. This is all about you trying to kill the teaser.
No, if you want to give 2 locks and a dog, I'm just worried my lock and my dog might be the same thing.
That's fine.
There's 4 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be worried about what someone might think.
Lock number 1, give me the Chicago Bears plus 3.5. My money line dog. Give me the 49ers on the money line at plus 290. And then what's the other play I feel the best about? New England laying the 3 at home. So Chicago plus 3.5, 49ers plus 290 on the money line, and the Pats laying the 3. Kramer,
give me Denver and New England for the locks. Patrick Fisher we'll run it back.
Double or nothing.
We'll run. Well, I've already paid him, so it would just be another bet.
Okay.
Dog Bears.
Yeah, I do like the Bears, obviously on the money line as well. Maybe a little Bears Niners money line parlay is going to be pretty fun. I might have to get in on that. And I noticed Underdog has combo picks available depending on your state. Yeah, so check those out. So plus 170 on the money line for the Bears, plus 290 on the money line for the 49ers. For me, we both like the New England Patriots laying the 3.
See, people want to hear what I would tease.
Okay, what's your tease, Ryan?
Oh well, if I was getting into that kind of action,
all right,
I would dance with the devil this week.
Okay,
Seattle minus 1.5.
Okay,
Sean's so mad that we're doing a tease right now.
No, it's just dumb, but keep going.
We're gonna tease the under in that game, 51.5, and then we're gonna bring the Bears up to 9.5.
Okay,
isn't that exciting?
Bears 9.5. All right, for my tease, give me. Can I tease Seattle down to 1.5 and San Francisco up to 13.5?
Sure.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
That's sharp.
So
that is sharp.
San Francisco plus 13.5.
Has Ross ever done that?
Well, just so you know, someone sent me an email. Todd, thank you, Todd. He goes, just so everyone knows, we're grading this year, even with the juice. And Todd emailed me. He goes, wait, they've been graded without the vig the entire time. I go, oh yeah. Previous tuck jobs will know, as I am a fellow tuck job, will know that in earlier years it was seen as too complicated to grade with the juice.
Really?
So they graded just wins losses.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
So San Francisco plus 13.5
really held the room together.
Give me Chicago plus 9.5, and I will. I'll tease the Rams Bears up to 54.5 and take the under. That's very high for this game. That I think. I don't think I mean, if you want to play the Rams team total under, I like that as well.
Oh,
a little bonus play there.
Yeah, I think what's Houston's team?
And Nate
total
Dogg's sent a super chat. How is West Shore Home not sponsored the show yet?
I don't know.
Thank you, Nate. I only ask questions to people who are signed up on the Patreon. With the shout out to my tuck jobs, right?
Guys in there doing a tub conversion while my wife's in the shower.
What are you doing? Come on, get out of there, man. I do like the roomy shower, but what are you doing? Spying on my old lady. It's all good fun. Shout out to Ross and Fezzik. Do a good show. Although it does bug me when he says, many people tell us we're the #1 gambling show. We're the #1 gambling show because the
You know I'm a degenerate
because of you, the fucking DJs. Look at our Spotify. If you wanna count numbers, look at our Spotify ratings. Shout out to everyone. We're up to 1.9 thousand.
Wow.
We're trying to get to 2K before the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll juice. I think we'll do for the audience, Ryan, a Super Bowl squares if we can get up to 2K
nice.
by the Super Bowl. But that's all, takes 2 seconds. I know it's a lot to ask. I'm sure Ross Tucker's loyal listeners are leaving reviews, some of which are not positive.
Well, I did bump into Fezzik over at Jackpot.
I do like Fezzik. I don't like
Maybe
Ross.
we'll have to have him on the show and we can ask him about the West Shore Homes controversy. That would be a really funny bit.
I'm looking at my door, Ryan, and it is sturdy. It's got hinges. It's got a knob. These guys at West Shore do a great job.
We get Fezzik on, but we only ask him about partners of the Ross Tucker show. Anyway.
Right. Oh yeah, I like having fun. Hey,
but yeah, Fezzik, he is a big fan of the program. So
no, shout out to Fezzik. He is a very sharp handicapper. Love he does a good job on Gil's show.
Have I told the story of when the first time I met him in person outside the VSiN studio, and he was very complimentary of our show, and he said he went out of his way to say how much he liked the fact that we had these names. Like he understood the bit. But then me explaining to him that the bit was that we were making fun of it. It was kind of funny because if you really break it down, I'm pretty sure we were probably making fun of someone like or maybe Fezzik at the time when we made up those names. And so telling Fezzik about how we were making fun of Fezzik 15 years ago, and that's why we have these names that he loves. Pretty awesome.
D-Knock say no, they hate on Ross because they play teasers and win. No, again, playing long teasers is sharp.
Wait, there's a defender.
Yeah, my guy must work for West Shore Home.
All right,
we're having fun.
Jesus Christ!
If you do play 6-point teasers, as Ross says on their show spot, I do think it's funny. That is the show is sponsored by DraftKings.
Yep.
And he highlights the fact that you cannot get good teaser prices on DraftKings every time they give out teaser likes. Yes, I do find that funny. Again, playing long teasers is a good strategy. And again, I learned that from Fezzik way back in the day. So again, yes, long teasers are good. Do your research.
I learned it straight from Stanford Wong. Also, for whoever that was in the chat, just so you know, the proper time to do a Wong teaser is at kickoff when the market is at its most efficient, aka kickoff, not Tuesday morning at 7 a.m.
And Fezzik does point that out.
Okay, that's
how he's sharp.
That's sure. So, dude, this is what we're doing, but not really.
And this guy must be from West Shore Home. Leave my boy Ross alone. Again, I'm able to do these impersonations because I listen to the show. So shout out to Ross and Fezzik. But we are the #1 NFL gambling podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tossing us 5 stars. Answered all your questions, comments over there. Also Apple Podcasts. I feel like more people are on Spotify now, but shout out to the Apple heads. I still listen to stuff on Apple. So Apple, you can actually write a review. That obviously helps us. We don't have an advertising budget. We rely on, whatever the algorithm does. When you guys leave these great reviews, hit the thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. You guys know how AI works. They love that shit, and that gets people to listen and watch the show, keeps the show free. We appreciate you. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stacking the Money Green, and he's Ryan.
I think we solved the Rubik's Cube.
Kramer, let it ride. Point spread song.